And we're back.
Woo!
And we're pretty close to where we left off.
Yeah, we did some playing behind the scenes.
Yeah. It only took us one try to get here. Wink. Blink. Cry. Oh no! Alright. Come here. Yeah, very sweet. Yes, go in.
Anyway, we were talking about terrible shit in the game industry, and Terry was about to tell me about somebody who worked at Game Crazy.
Yeah, well, so, we knew a kid whose dad was like the manager of Game Crazy. For those of you that don't remember Game Crazy, it was connected to Hollywood Video.
Those of you who don't remember what Hollywood Video was, it was like Blockbuster, which who don't remember Blockbuster was like Netflix, but you actually paid money.
You pay money for Netflix too.
If they're young enough, if they're too young to remember Blockbuster, they're probably not old enough to be paying for their own Netflix.
Yeah, that's true. So, which was actually a decent idea by Hollywood Video, because it's like, oh, what are we going to do with all these
games that we're that, like as they cycle things out. So Game Crazy was it was like GameStop, but it was built into Hollywood Video,
and they actually gave you. It was a little bit better than GameStop in my opinion, because they gave you
like if you bought a new console, you got like a year's worth of free rentals.
Yeah, and you
it's like one rental a month, but still 12 free rentals. I mean,
and the trade-ins were, instead of being like 33%, they were like 40%, something like that. It was
evidently that made it an
unsustainable business model.
Unfortunately, I remember. So like how I found out they went out of business was my mom went to pick up a game that I had reserved, or to pay off a game that I had reserved, and so she went to him and she's like, hey, I'm here to pay off this game for my son for Christmas or his birthday or whatever. And they're like, oh, that game comes out in February and we're going to be closed by then. So, do you want your money back? She's like, yeah, I want my money back. Like, you want them? Because I'd only put like $5 down on it or whatever, the basic pre-order.
Okay,
And
the turbo
so
laser should be on the other side of this door.
she called me and she's like, you just want me to go to GameStop and get it? Yeah.
It's locked.
Well, yeah, my friend's dad, like, we knew this kid who, I wouldn't say he was a friend, but he was a friend of a friend, I guess. And his dad worked at Game Crazy.
Thanks for doing the dangerous thing here, Kyle, and waiting behind while we open the door.
No,
don't help us. Don't come down the hallway and help us fight the Sith Lord, Kyle.
Yeah, this is actually a difficult one, because the ones that we've been fighting are the easy ones. The more, like, these guys are the harder ones. So,
No, Kyle, we're good. Don't help.
Let's see how good you are.
So,
Wow, he's even sounded like Rosh.
one time we went to him, we were talking to him, and we were talking to this kid. And we found out his dad was a game tester too. And we're like, oh my god, dude, your dad is the coolest guy in the world. He works at Game Crazy, and he's a game tester. So we were talking to his dad about being a game tester, and we're like, oh man, this has got to be the greatest thing ever. And we were so jealous of him. And he's like, yeah, it's, I get to play the games early, and I'm a game tester. And we're like, that must be so cool. And he's like, mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, and so it was really funny, like, just a couple years later, I think it's when, like, a lot of the horror stories started to come out about game testers and stuff.
I think that was probably around the same time that EA Wife blog came out.
Yeah, probably about that time. And reading those things, it was like, oh, that's why he was so, just like, yep. Because we thought it was the coolest thing. We're like, oh man, this would be the great.
Played
Did
video
I
games for
get turned
living?
around?
You totally did.
Oh, God
I
damn
think
it
it loops. I think it's a big loop. But yeah, it's like when you're a kid, you always assume it's like, oh, playing video games for a living, that'd be cool. And it's like, in reality, it's like,
a mini map would be awesome.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. But it's basically like, okay, play the game until it breaks, and now you come up with a list of reasons why you think it might have broken, and vet each one of those until you know until you can reproduce the bug exactly, so you can basically do most of the work for the programmer who just has to go in and change it. And then in the next update that you play, find out that they noted the bug and they're just not going to fix it.
Yeah.
Cheers all around. Rinse and repeat.
Yep, it's just a loop. So, if I just go back here...
Huh.
I think I was actually supposed to do something, but I don't know if I actually did it or if the game is just like...
No, the game totally told you to like go and unlock the door.
Yeah.
And then you fought a Sith Lord, and apparently that unlocked the door.
I guess so.
Meanwhile, Kyle's just like, huh, I hear struggling behind me. He's just there on his phone like... Everything okay out there, everything okay out there, Jaden? Oh God, it hurts! Good to hear it. Let me know if you need help. Help! Uh-huh.
Is Princess Leia single? Ooh, gotta click on this one.
Oh, she's
still with Han.
Yeah. I heard they were off again.
At this point, they should be married, I think. Okay, it's a bad idea to eat the whole thing if I'm gonna be talking. Just be like, I'm just gonna pop this whole thing in my mouth.
Sorry we're eating on camera. We try to minimize it, but we also didn't get breakfast today. We started a little bit later because we were up a little bit too late last night playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
And so we woke up and
Well,
we're like, oh shit, we gotta get shit together.
Well, I went home because I wanted to clear out some stuff on Mafia. I had like 2 missions to do before I cleared the district.
Did you have like one more mission syndrome?
I did, but it literally was only one more mission. So I only added 1 mission. But yeah, so it wasn't too bad. I have like I'm enjoying that game pretty well. Like there's a little bit of repetitiveness to it, but it's okay.
Well, that's the thing is like people get shit on the Assassin's Creed series because like, oh, it's just another like check the boxes thing. And it's like I like
Now
that.
we need to get up into the castle. There's a turbo lift over there.
And God, everything's turbo everything in this fucking futuristic Star Wars bullshit. Take out the turbo laser. Take the turbo lift to the turbo laser.
I feel like you're not
File your taxes with turbo
See
tax.
if we can find another way out of here.
The door that we just came
Always
in.
out the door. You think they'd have learned by now?
I'm scared.
Let's see. Can I? Is this a? Nope.
Doesn't look like there's a key. That would be too easy.
Well, I do have this lightsaber that has been that's in canon can cut through doors.
The door's probably hidden in some room 12 floors up or something. How does that make sense?
Did this game just get like self-aware?
Yeah. Alright, can I? Oh, didn't I?
You
I
came through that door.
so I'll go through this door.
I wonder where this leads. Of course, it has to be a garbage pit, doesn't it?
Why would there be a door to the
Let's
garbage
go.
pit?
No one ever said
And not just like a,
was glamorous.
you know,
Well,
like a
actually,
chute?
the recruitment pamphlet I said join the glamorous life of the Jedi.
Oh, we've got to change that.
You can jump out from there.
We also need to get rid of the. We also need to get rid of any references to the Rand Corporation.
Meet them on the other side.
Jedi Academy, a Koch brothers enterprise. No, the real question is why are there lumps of garbage outside of the garbage pit? That's like working in a dump and then just tossing your garbage out like on the road as you're leaving, right?
Like if I have to work at garbage, everybody's got to be around garbage. That's what my life is now.
It sounds like the beginning of like a Marvel supervillain. The trash bag.
So I was playing when I was playing Mafia 3 last night. It was pretty good. I was doing an escape with this guy, and this is the easiest part of the mission. All you have to do is just drive, right? And so I'm driving, and I hit a bump and flip the car over. And you know, so many games by now have the just press the bumper, and you're gonna flip the car back over for you. This one, either I was too stuck for it to do it, or it doesn't have it.
Probably doesn't have it.
Yeah, and so, yeah, well, good job, Kyle. I just looked like an idiot with my swinging here. So
Yeah, at least he was fighting the Sith.
Mafia 3 is set up like a documentary. Like it's a documentary telling the story of your character. And so, like, every time you do a story mission, it's not like just, your basic, it's like it's a real story mission that's not just a basic check the box type thing. There's a cutscene that goes back to the
Oh, great.
that goes back to
I might be ahead of you here.
that goes back to where it's supposed that goes back to the future, and
Uh-huh.
they're like, this is what happened, and this is the next part of the story, right? So, damn it. So, I flip the car over, get in the car accident, and there's this FBI agent who's one of the guys being interviewed, who's like going over it, and he's looking at the paperwork, and he's like, wait, this can't be how it ends? And I was like, I know this is just a generic thing, because it has to be a generic thing, because there's no way that it could know that it was that
You flipped the car.
Yeah, that I
And the
flipped the
guy is
car.
like, wait, there's no way that this can't be how it ends with him flipping the car?
Yeah, with it just dying in a car crash. There's no way that he could know that. But it worked out so well. There's just like, God, this is a dumb way to end for this to end.
So I finished Dead Rising 4, Frank's Big Package. So the PS4 release for it, right? And
Yeah.
not super great. It's fun. It's worth renting. I think you just came from that door.
I think
But,
I'm disappointed in
I
everything
got
I've heard
the-
from Dead Rising. It's not very Dead Rising.
No, it's not. But so like the ending, like I beat the end boss and I had like a weapon in my hand, right? And now the game is supposed to drop all your weapons before it goes to the cutscene, obviously. And for whatever reason,
Oh, that was this time.
son of a bitch, Jaden. Oh, sorry, Kyle. Didn't expect you to be there.
Robot arm. Alright, so I'm gonna see if there's someplace else to go here. If not, I hate these. See?
But like
This just leads down the trash.
he still had the sword in his hand that I
Yeah.
killed the boss with, and he's like, he's got this girl who just like may have just died, and he's like, oh god, no, 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 and so he's reaching down, and the sword is whoop, 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 clipping through shit, and just generally having a good time. But it pissed me off because after that, like the audio started glitching out. So these are the final cutscenes in the game.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the audio isn't playing for for half of the dialogue in the cutscenes, which normally isn't a problem because I've got the subtitles on. But because the audio wasn't playing, the subtitles weren't playing. And can I spoil the ending for you?
It's DLC, not the actual game, right?
No, the actual game. I didn't touch any of the DLC, honestly. Well, I mean, one of the DLCs already kind of spoils this.
I guess so.
That Frank dies.
Alright.
Because one of the DLCs is literally you play as zombie Frank.
Okay, then yeah, I don't really care because it doesn't even, from what I've heard, it's not even really Frank, you know.
Yeah, well, it's canon Frank. It's not Frank as a character Frank.
Yeah.
But the problem
Alright,
was,
so I hit that thing. Something's supposed to happen. I go back to that room. I should be able to go through that door, but I didn't last time. I hit the button.
there seems like there was a door in there was a blue hallway you're in with a green door that I don't think that we went through. But so Frank dies, and it's that scene. He's on a helicopter, like hanging onto the helicopter. Zombies are swarming his legs. He looks up and says something, and then dies. And I can't tell you what he says because that glitch made it so it cut off Frank's fucking last words, and then he dies.
Did I do it? Did I do it? I did it!
We did it. Oh god, I thought it smoked that on the outside.
This lift is locked down too. Maybe this switch. Oh, come on.
God damn it, Kyle.
What was it with like the weird texture, like warping, where it's just like warp? Not me. I'll just get out of the water.
Bye, teacher. What? No, no! This is for all the times you didn't save me, ass.
This is for my softball game, you son of a bitch. Rosh was right about you.
I wouldn't mind playing softball.
Like as an adult? No.
Yeah. They have leagues and stuff. I was okay at baseball, like good enough that I could play on a adult softball team. You know what the weird thing was, and I don't know if this is this way for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was really easy. I wonder if I was actually supposed to destroy that.
I come in peace and
Like a lot of the kids that I knew that were really good at baseball when I was a kid.
I've seen tubes like this before. We can ride them to the top.
Thank
Where
God
have-
you've been through game mechanics before.
Where have you seen tubes like this before?
The last game. So like a lot of the kids that I grew up with, like the best ones that I knew playing baseball, like all of them had destroyed.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
All of them had to like destroyed their shoulders or their elbows or whatever, and like they weren't even able to play in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them that I thought, like, hey man, are you going out for the baseball team? It's like, oh no, I can't play anymore because my shoulder. I can't play anymore because of this one.
So he jumped straight up. There's no way you can make that, is there?
Nope.
I guess we have to deal with the insta-kill laser.
Damn it! I was stuck. Well, at least the checkpoint isn't too far away.
Yeah, it's kind of having Coruscant flashbacks where it's like, I died. Alright, can't be too far with the beginning of the level. Cool, 20 minutes of gameplay before the first checkpoint. That makes sense. And then there was like 3 in rapid succession after that.
Yeah. Alright, so speed.
Wait for it. No.
Wilhelm the Third.
You know what this part reminds me of? There's a part in the first Half-Life game with ladders. This part
I haven't
reminds
thought
me
about
of.
Half-Life in a long time. It was like, when was the last time we even got an update on Half-Life? It's just because I'm on camera. It really is.
No, we haven't heard anything about Half-Life. Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or Half-Life 3.
I think it's just Half-Life 3 now, isn't it?
We assumed it was.
Yeah.
So here's what happened: is officially we were waiting on Half-Life 2 Episode 3 to wrap things up, but because it had taken so long, we all just kind of assumed that they were actually working on a full-fledged sequel because like a mini chapter cannot possibly be taking this long. And from what I found out, because I looked this up a couple months ago, was that one of the lead writers for Valve, who has since left, basically was like, yeah, so there was a Half-Life 3 in production. Don't know if it's still in production because the current story they're working on had gotten scrapped at that point. I think what happened was Valve finally got Steam going, and they're like, why should we bother making games anymore?
Yeah. Well, they had, and we've never gotten Portal 3, have we?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe we'll never get it. Who force choked that guy? Was it Kyle? Let's see some dark side powers here. Ah, motherfucker!
No, Kyle, don't take advantage of them while they're being electrocuted. Just stand there.
I can't kill them while you're using the dark side. Jade.
Well, so Steam was one of Valve's developments for a very long time. They wanted to get started back in like 1992, 1993. Where they had this idea
all
where
the money.
well, they had this idea. They actually had a bunch of different like game developers on board. Where that's like, hey, let's just start selling your games online and people can download them off the internet. And what ended up killing Steam at that point was id Software pointed out, it's like, hey, so, like, cause they went to, and they're like, you know, you got Doom and Wolfenstein, people love those. Do you want to get on board? And they're like, no. Like, why not? It's a great service. We got so and so. We got Activision on board, and they're like, because internet sucks. And like this was like this was like the mid 90s, where it's like to download a megabyte of data, you're gonna be connected for
What
like
the
24
fuck?
hours. Rocket launcher.
Oh, God damn it.
Next time on Every Game Ever, we will kill a bunch of motherfuckers.